Welcome back to episode 9 of the Team McNally podcast, the private podcast exclusively for members of my coaching program. Due to the popularity of my last episode, I've decided that again I'm going to make today's episode free and open to the public. One last time, because I really do think that what I'm about to share with is going to be incredibly valuable for a lot of people. So for one last time, I'm making this episode free to the world. So whether you're a long-term listener or brand new here, welcome, and I hope you enjoy the episode. This episode is brought to you by Plutus, the rewards debit card that gives you cash back on your everyday spending. I've been a Plutus customer since 2021, and it's been a game changer for me. Check out the link in the description of this episode, and we'll both get a $10 bonus when you sign up. Today I want to share with you how I'm planning on making 2025 my best year yet, and more importantly, how you can apply these same ideas to make your 2025 the best year too. So if you've been following this podcast for a while, you'll know this is a continuation of what we discussed last time. Last time we discussed 10 things you can do to not waste the winter. So if you're new here, I highly recommend you go all the way back to episode 0, listen to that episode, and then listen to each episode in order, starting right from the beginning, as each episode builds on the last. So it's really important that you listen to these episodes and podcasts in order to get the most value. If you're not a member of my coaching program, I'd highly recommend pausing this video, checking the description, and listening to my last episode, which was episode 8, which is titled Don't Waste the Winter, 10 Strategies to Boost Your Golf Skills, Fitness, and Mindset. Today's episode is all about taking ownership, which I believe is the foundation of your success. So one of the key values I hold just as a human being is personal freedom. The foundation of personal freedom is taking full responsibility for your life. Now, in today's episodes, we're going to apply this to golf and how you can plan on making 2025 your best year yet. So here's what I mean by personal freedom, taking full responsibility. So taking full responsibility for your choices, actions, decisions you make, and the outcomes of those choices, actions, and decisions. It's about avoiding blaming external factors that you cannot control and focus instead on what you can control. It's about building self-reliance in areas like financial stability, physical health, personal growth, and in this context today, golf. Once you start owning your life, every other principle becomes easier to implement. So in this episode, I'm going to share with you my 3-step process for planning 2025 so that you can own the year and make 2025 your best golfing season yet. So I usually do my yearly planning between Christmas and New Year, but this Christmas I've been completely under the weather, bedridden, and I'm only just starting to recover. So I'm actually still in this process of planning for 2025. So it's not too late. Even if you're listening to this episode mid-January or even into February, March, you can apply this 3-step process at any time of the year. It does not have to be before the new year. That said, here's my 3-step system for creating a standout year. Step 1, I want you to define one big year-defining goal. So I want you to choose one big, hairy, audacious goal that feels almost out of reach. It should be a goal that excites you and even scares you a little bit. So the goal should be like 50-50 whether you're going to achieve it or not. So a little side story here. When I finished uni, I decided to actually go and travel and visit Australia for a year. And during my time, I had this, what I called my dream list, which is basically a bucket list of things I wanted to do. Now, I'm not going to get into what was on that list and what I did, but something that I did do was start a blog. And I actually want to share this blog post with you. This is something I wrote back in 2016. So that was when I was 26 years old. I'm now 34. And the title of that blog post is Why Achieving the Unrealistic is Easier Than Doing the Realistic. So I'm going to read it out. Why achieving the unrealistic is easier than doing the realistic. Being realistic is the most commonly traveled road to mediocrity. Will Smith said that. When you were 5 years old and wanted to land on the moon, your parents probably told you that you could. It's harmless, like telling a child that the tooth fairy exists. If you're 25 and you decide you want to start your own business or become a professional golfer, the response from society is different. Be realistic, get a normal job, work 9 to 5 in a job you hate, pay your taxes, get married, get a mortgage, have kids, save up for your retirement, and when you reach 65, then you can finally have your golden years. Anyone who lives within their means suffers from a lack of imagination. Oscar Wilde. What happened? Somewhere along the way, between your teenage years and adulthood, possibilities are taken away from you. The little voice in your head says, be realistic, dreams don't come true, life isn't like the movies. Our perception of what we can and cannot do changes. Once you say you're going to settle for second, that's what happens to you in life. John F. Kennedy. Why do we stop dreaming? I don't want to spend too much time on this problem, so I'll be brief. It's low risk. Fear of rejection, fear of failure. It's the easy option. Just pure laziness. Social conditioning and conventional wisdom. These are false limitations that exist only in your mind. How to start dreaming again. I want you to shift your perspective by doing something new or something you fear. Practice believing in yourself. It's really as easy as believing it can be done. This is key. Find a mentor or a role model who you admire and literally copy them. Follow an uncommon set of rules, your rules. And lastly, travel. It broadens the mind. In order to attain the impossible, one must attempt the absurd. You must do the thing you think you cannot do. Eleanor Roosevelt. Here's why achieving the unrealistic is actually easier than doing the realistic. What most people don't realize is that achieving the unrealistic is actually easier than doing the realistic. Here's why. Firstly, there's less competition for bigger goals. 99% of people on the planet have convinced themselves that they are incapable of achieving great things. So they aim for average and achieve mediocre results. Remember, it's lonely at the top and the fishing is best where the fewest go. Secondly, people often overestimate the competition. If you're worried, scared, or insecure, guess what? So is the rest of the world. Don't underestimate yourself and overestimate the competition. You are capable of more than you know. And lastly, the bigger the goal, the bigger your effort. Adrenaline fuels the endurance you need to overcome the barriers that go along with achieving big, unrealistic goals. Realistic goals are uninspiring and will only fuel you through the first or second roadblock. If the potential reward is mediocre or average, so will be your effort. When it is obvious that the goals cannot be reached, don't adjust the goals, adjust the actions. Why impossible is nothing. Nothing great has ever been achieved by a realist. The goals set by great people have one simple defining characteristic, and that's that they are difficult to achieve. Before the light bulb was invented, it was considered unrealistic and impossible to walk into a room, flip a switch, and have the room light up. Thank God Thomas Edison wasn't realistic. Remember, while unrealistic goals have the power to help you achieve the impossible, they also require a massive level of commitment. As your journey unfolds, your loyalty to your dreams will be tested. You'll face doubters, criticism, and failure. But remember, it's always impossible until it's done. Nelson Mandela. So yeah, that was a blog post I wrote back in 2016. Some specific examples of some big goals you could set. Okay, so one goal you could set would be to achieve a specific handicap or score. For example, my big goal this year in golf is to break 80 or whatever it is. Personally, an example of my big goal for my golf this year is I want to increase my club head speed with driver to 125 miles per hour, and I'm actually going to document this journey for you and share it on our Academy YouTube channel. Now, another example would be something maybe think outside the box, like playing your dream golf course, like the old course at St. Andrews, or even just attending the Masters. So the takeaway here is I want you to pick one challenge, one big goal that will define your 2025. It will define your year. If it's tied to a date, I want you to put this date on your calendar. This part is really, really important. Now, on to step 2. I want you to schedule a mini golf adventure every 8 weeks. So every 2 months, I want you to plan a fun, unique golfing experience. This keeps golf exciting and helps you stay motivated throughout the year. So to give you some examples, here are 5 of my 6 mini golf adventures that I have planned for 2025. So in April, May, I'm planning on hosting a warm weather training camp. Highly likely that this will be in Turkey. So that's the first one. The second one is I'm going to plan a second warm weather training camp. Again, likely in Turkey in October and November, more towards the end of the year. The third mini adventure I'm going to take is I'm going to play a random golf course in Scotland. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to use AI. I'm going to go on to ChatGPT. Again, I'm going to document this and create a video on it. It'll be on our Academy YouTube channel. And I'm going to go into ChatGPT and basically let AI decide where I'm going to go. I'm just going to pop in, pick a random golf course in Scotland, and whatever that golf course is, I'm going to just get in my car and book a tee time, go away and play it. The fourth mini adventure I'm going to make is I'm going to plan a long weekend golf trip with some of my friends and bring my family along. The fifth one, and this is a big one for me, is I do actually want to play the old course at St. Andrews. And then the sixth one is to be decided. So these are some ideas of some mini adventures. You can get really creative with these. And then once you've got your 6 mini adventure ideas, you want to put these in your calendar and try and schedule them every 8 weeks. If you're interested in joining one of my warm weather training camps this year, please message me via your Coach Now space, or if you're not a current student and would like to put your name on the waiting list, you can email me. It's mike@mcnallygolf.com. I am building a wait list for this, and as a listener of this episode, you'll get first refusal when the dates are confirmed, but I do need a rough estimate of how many people are interested in numbers before I can actually go away, get dates, get quotes for the little training camp. So if you're interested, send me a message on that. Step 3 is I want you to create one winning habit every quarter. Rather than overwhelming yourself with multiple changes, I want you to focus on building one habit every quarter. So New Year resolutions are quite a big thing. And I think the mistake I've made in the past, and I see a lot of people making with these, is they just try and literally be Superman from January 1st or Superwoman, and they're trying to implement too many new habits, and it's just not sustainable. So here are some examples of some great quarterly habits you could try and apply. So looking after, say, your fitness, going to the gym 3 days per week would be a good one. Tracking your food daily would be another good one. You could practice your putting for 5 minutes a day. Whatever you think would be most beneficial to you, whatever habit you want to apply to your life. It doesn't have to be golf related, it could be something else, but one habit per quarter is the way to go. My personal habit is going to be to speed train weekly, and that's my Q1 habit for 2025, is to basically block off in my calendar 1 day per week to do a speed training session, which will help me achieve my big goal for 2025, which is 125 mile per hour club head speed. So the call to action is to pre-plan your habits by putting them into your calendar. Like, I've already scheduled my speed training sessions for January, February, and March. And again, I will document this and share these videos with you in the future. Bonus step. Step 4, I want you to leverage your coaching support. So remember, as a member of my coaching program, when you signed up for coaching with me, you didn't just pay for my time or a golf lesson. You gained more than that. You have access to my support via the Coach Now app. So if you need help implementing any of these ideas I've shared and discussed today, just send me a message, reach out, and I can help you, point you in the right direction, send you some resources. You can message me anytime and I will get back to you. Additionally, I highly recommend getting a TPI physical screening with Andy Watson at thegolffitnesscoach.com. Andy is a TPI certified trainer and is offering a free consultation to listeners of this podcast. So all you need to do is head over to thegolffitnesscoach.com/contact and let Andy know that I sent you. Andy will have a chat with you about your goals and then discuss a little bit more about the TPI physical screening process. As your golf coach, having this information from the assessment is going to be really beneficial, because it's going to show me and you exactly what you can and cannot do in your golf swing. It's an overall assessment of how you can and cannot move. So that information as a coach, as your golf swing coach, is crucial. So highly recommend getting in touch with Andy. So that's it for today's episode. Thanks again for listening to the Team McNally podcast. Start planning your 2025 now, and let's make this your best year yet. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next episode.